If I send an injured soldier, then will I win the match?
No.
Therefore, attack the issue, bring health back, and then पूरी जिंदगी है काम करने के लिए. Where's the problem? रिश्ता बनाना है, पर झूठ पे बनाना है. मुझे समझ नहीं आ रही. You know your business or I know your business better. Why would you want to shortchange the company? Please explain. बेवकूफ है कोई इंसान, क्यों करेगा? Be courageous to act on the math and the logic that you have built. Don't get sidelined कि यार ये दूसरे क्या कहेंगे या क्या नहीं कहेंगे, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. Does it require all this complication to get to that objective of 14-15? If I can simplify it, then I can make you understand it. Do your job, do your work to the best of your ability and leave it to the rest, to the Lord.
I remember the time that we all were sitting and thinking, saying that what name should have been given to Anand Rathi. And you told all of us saying that ek, give just one word. And you came up with this idea called Uncomplicated. Why did this Uncomplicated came? And what is the reason behind of Uncomplicated? Today it's become our tagline. I just wanted to understand that from you.
So basically, the way I saw advisory in wealth was that, you can get through a client by saying, hey, this is a complex science and it requires huge degree of expertise, a lot of engineering, financial engineering, a lot of stuff that you do, optionalities, this, that, and the other. So the positioning of this whole area in the industry and the world is that it's very complex science. You require a lot of domain knowledge and various other things to execute it well. And therefore, I wear a nice suit, tie, and have a band of very, very attractive people, make a presentation which the client doesn't understand. And then the client says, hey, these guys are so good, therefore they'll look after my money well. That's one way to approach it. The other way to approach it is, can I simplify this whole process? After all, what is there? I have to make 14-15% return. Does it require all this complication to get to that objective of 14-15? If I can simplify it, then I can make you understand it. Right? If you understand it as a client, then you will be with me all through the life. Yeah?
True.
But if you are enamored by me and you are with me, then the day you are disillusioned, you'll take your money away.
Correct.
So I said long-term business, and my call was that I'd rather follow the second route than the first one. Yeah? So if I'm following the second route, what do I brand name it? So we brand name it naturally as Uncomplicated. So that's how it is.
A very unconventional CEO, Rakesh, I've seen. I've come, you and both of us have come from a background where we were suited, booted, wearing ties. And we used to go to the clients all properly clad. You came and broke all the shackles. Initially, I used to wonder, saying that, why it is happening, because we're not used to this kind of business. What was the thought process? I want to, you to repeat that back again, because I know that thought process, that, you ensured that we all are comfortable in what we are wearing. Yeah. And it is a very unconventional way to run a business. And I myself didn't know back then, saying that, will it last? What made you think that it will last, and what made you think that it will happen?
The whole thing is that you have to be honest. Yeah. तो मैंने बोला यार हम client को मिलने जा रहे हैं. What is my objective of meeting the client? That I want to create a long-term relationship with him. ये है objective.
Correct.
तो मैंने देखा यार जिंदगी में लंबी रिश्ते कहाँ बने? तो जिंदगी में तो दोस्तों के साथ लंबे रिश्ते बने. जब मैं दोस्त से मिलने जाता हूँ तो सूट वूट पहन के इतर लगा के लिपस्टिक पाउडर तो नहीं लगाता.
नहीं.
I go and talk to him the way I talk to whatever. It's not what you're wearing or not, etc., etc. So it's an atmosphere where it's easy communication happening between friends. You want that to happen with clients. Then you have a long-term relationship. Then why not go in a natural, easy manner? Yeah. And then I asked myself, is he going to give me money because what I'm wearing or what I'm saying? And my belief is that you're content if it is there, useful to him, will sort of bring him to you and not what you're wearing. And therefore, I said, if this is my belief, the next part in life is that you create a logic or a belief or whatever math tells you. The second part is courage. Yeah. Be courageous to act on the math and the logic that you have built. Don't get sidelined कि यार ये दूसरे क्या कहेंगे या क्या नहीं कहेंगे, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. I think it's right. I've got my logic for it. I've got my conviction behind it. I will practice it. Right? अपने आप फिर जो फिर आउटकम हो सो हो.
No, completely agree. Why? Because, there's always a set pattern that you follow. You've broken that set pattern. And it's not very easy to think what you think. And that's why, I wanted to understand more on that Rakesh Rawal in this mindset. Because whatever you say, it through logic. As you rightly said, that when we were discussing, saying that, if I go to meet a friend, obviously I'll not be suited booted. Yeah, I will be the way I am. And I will speak from my heart. And this you've always inculcated in us, saying that, सच्चाई बोलो, बाकी उस पे छोड़ दो. This word of yours, बाकी उस पे छोड़ दो, कर्म करो.
भाई आप अपने आप को कहते हैं रिलेशनशिप मैनेजर.
Correct.
रिलेशनशिप मैनेजर का ऑब्जेक्टिव है रिश्ता बनाना है.
That's
Right?
what the word says, yes.
That is what the nomenclature says.
Yes, it does.
रिश्ता बनाना है पर झूठ पे बनाना है. मैं समझ नहीं आ रही.
Right, true.
मैथ दिखाना है, प्रोडक्ट का आधी चीजें छुपानी है. तो भाई तुम क्या कर रहे हो? सो व्हेन यू थिंक एंड से हे what was my objective and am I acting in line with that objective? If not, change it. वो ऐसे करते हैं, ये ऐसे करते हैं, उसका कोई रेलेवेंस है? तुम डिसाइड करो ना यार तुम्हें क्या करना है. I want to be a true relationship manager. Then transparency, honesty, all this cannot be anything else, na?
Very true.
So then do it.
So that's one part which really, initially, I felt ki, acha theek hai, let me try doing this. Because I've been, for the past so many years, I've been wearing a tie and a suit. And, now that I'm not wearing a tie and a suit, the second very starking difference, unconventional CEO came into picture was when you said ki there is no target. You don't have a target in your mind. You define your own target. But tell me, was that not kind of a gamble, saying that what if I had taken a lesser target and stuff like that?
देखो, again, I'll build from the first one. सच्चाई का रिश्ता आपने बनाना है क्लाइंट के साथ. The base has to be सच्चाई का रिश्ता within. You know your business or I know your business better.
Yeah, we know our business.
You know that client, you met that client 50 times. You know what is the potential. Can you make your target better or I can make your target better?
I can make my target.
Then I've given the job to the right person. तो इसमें प्रॉब्लम क्या है? ये जो यहाँ बैठ के बेंगलोर में मैं सोचूं कि 380 RM के टारगेट मैं यहाँ से बना सकता हूँ, तो ये अकलमंदी है, बेवकूफ़ी है. खुद सोचो भाई.
Rakesh, sounds very logical though, when you speak about it. But wasn't it a gamble?
How is it a gamble?
Did you ever thought that somebody would come back and say I'll take lesser targets and all?
अरे भाई, lesser targets रिश्ता सच्चाई का है.
बिल्कुल.
तो फिर क्यों लोगे lesser?
Exactly.
Have faith and trust in your people, na. There is no. See, if it is relationship, faith and trust, why would you want to shortchange the company? Please explain.
Yeah, would not want to.
You're shortchanging yourself. बेवकूफ़ है कोई इंसान, क्यों करेगा? So he's not a beefcoof. He knows the subject better than I do. He knows his clients better than I do. Therefore, the math that he pulls out will be better than I do. Simple. So let him do the math. I sum it all and say, this is my target.
Wow.
Tell me. One person sitting in Bombay says, okay, please grow your business at 20%. Maybe it can grow at 40. Why 20 like a better one? He doesn't have potential for even 10. So he'll be, in one case, he'll be losing out on potential. In the other cell, in the second case, he'll be doing all kinds of wrong selling. Both ways you're wrong to meet that target. So why would you want to follow that system? I'm not saying the system is right or wrong. I don't have no comment on anybody else that does business. That's their call. It's more about what I, and all of us feel. I do it like this. I'm not saying it's right, and I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm comfortable to do it like this, and I will do it like that. Finished.
And that's what it has.
Well, that is, results are always his. So, you do logic, math, action. That's all that is in your hands.
And one more thing that I've always, heard you saying, whenever I have some issues or problem with you, or when I have to speak to you something, you always use one word called objective. Kya hai iska? Think through the objective first, and you're drilling it down to everyone. There has been an instance where my children have come back and saying that because I asked them, what is an objective? so this, I've never heard this ever, what is an objective? And then we start thinking logically because of that. This logical mindset, objective setting, I just want you to develop on more in your own words.
नहीं बड़ा सिंपल है यार. कोई भी हम काम करते हैं, it should lead to some end point. Right? I want to do, I want to become physically strong. Yeah. I have to have some end point, na?
Correct.
कि यार मेरा वेट आज 104 है, मेरे को 90 पे लेके आना है. राइट? कोई एक एंड पॉइंट लगाओगे जिंदगी में किसी एक्शन पे, देन यू क्रिएट अ स्ट्रेटजी कि यार वहाँ मैं कैसे पहुँचूँ. एंड देन योर एक्शन डेली टेक्स यू देयर. दैट एंड पॉइंट इज योर मछली की आँख. And if that is clear in your mind, your actions to get there will be more motivated, passionate, and thought through. Yeah. So anything that you do, don't do it just for the sake of doing it. Why are you doing it? Ask yourself. Yeah. And that's, for example, our financial strategy is on that basis. Na?
Correct. Absolutely.
When you talk to a client and say, you want to manage your money, what is it that you want to achieve? Define it, na? If you're unclear, we'll give you options. Then he chooses, okay, I'll choose 14% at 0.6 beta. Fair enough. Now you know this is what he wants to do. This is where he wants to go. Then you go through the next steps, etc., etc. So then you are clear in your relationship with him. कि वो चाहता क्या है. नहीं तो आज आप बताइए, आज बोलो अरे यार वो प्रोडक्ट नहीं किया. अरे यार दुनिया में 1000 प्रोडक्ट है. यूएस मार्केट में नहीं थे तुम, गोल्ड नहीं बताया, कहाँ भागते फिरोगे भाई. और सब जगह भागोगे तो गिरोगे.
True.
बट एक लाइन आपने चूज कर ली और उस पर आप भाग रहे हो, तो फिर गिरने के चांसेस कम है. तो जो भी है, आई थिंक इट इज़ अ वे ऑफ लाइफ. Action you do, first define what you want to do it for, what's your purpose, and then work backwards. Otherwise, to my mind, it's the cart before the horse. ऐसे करे जा रहे हैं, फिर ऑब्जेक्टिव ढूंढ लेंगे.
Exactly.
ठीक है, पर सबका अपना अपना जिंदगी जीने का तरीका है. I have no comment on others, but I believe that this is one way to handle it.
And I've also seen that, in this business, you've simplified to the fact that you've stuck onto something that fits into your strategy of achieving that objective on. there are times that there's so many distractions there. There's so many things that is going around, but you've stuck on for the first so many years because you believed in that, and that has worked also. How difficult it is, to cut those noises and get back to, you always bring us back to the strategy. You always bring us back to the strategy because there are 380 people, as you rightly said. Everybody will go haywire, but you bring us all back. How easy, difficult it is.
This is where you learn how brands are created. Yeah. Lux was created as a film star brand, I don't know, 50 years ago or when. They stuck to it.
Yes,
जब आफ्टर ऑल कई चीज़ें आई होंगी ना उनके मन में भी
correct.
कि यार दिस वर्क्स दैट वर्क्स दिस वर्क्स दैट वर्क्स. Digressions will always be there. Yeah. Your belief in that brand and making sure that the purity of that brand continues. Nobody's saying life is easy. Tackle the digressions, but stay with your thought process. Yeah. Not to say that you're close-minded. If you can achieve that same 14-15% return and whatever risk, you can improve the return at the same risk, surely change it. If you can, reduce the risk for the same return, most welcome. We will do that change. So it's not that we are not adaptable, but your objective is clear. Yeah. And once your ability to handle digressions is how convinced you are of your objective. ठीक है?
Very true. One more thing that develops upon is when that you've been a family man, and that the entire thought process, you also bring that culture back into the business as well. And you've always said that we are one family, and you stuck onto that one family thing. And again, an unconventional CEO, in the sense like the erstwhile organizations that we've come from, we had competitions amongst ourselves. You banned competitions here. You said, मुझे नहीं देखना है बैंगलोर क्या कर रहा है, मुझे नहीं देखना है दिल्ली क्या कर रहा है. जो दिल्ली का पोटेंशियल है वो दिल्ली करेगा. How did it all originated, and what made you think that it will do well?
अरे बड़ा simple है यार. Again, the answer lies, I have 2 children. Should I view them independently or should I make comparisons?
Independently.
Right? Therefore, making comparisons is in my personal opinion, is not a very healthy way of growing your children. Let them sort of find their own potential. They're made differently. Let them pursue what they want to pursue. Delhi is a different market. Bombay is a different market. Combination of people is different. Combination of people in Bombay is different. It's, opportunities in Bangalore are different. Let them go and explore and find their own, steady points. What is the logic which says, hey, Bangalore ने ये किया तो तुम क्यों नहीं करते हो? Bangalore weather is different. People are different.
Yes.
Let people, let various parts of your business evolve and let them find their own, heights. You just create an environment where they find their own successes. Yeah. So I don't believe in comparison. And then after Feroz came,
Yeah.
तो उसने तो बैन ही लगा दिया. No contest, no nothing. So, and I think he's doing the right thing.
And I think never heard about that, thing, no contest. There's no MISs that we see, which normally, shows you that how much this center is doing, how much that center is doing. And also the fact that one really comes as a stark difference. I had a conversation with you n number of times on that bit also, that, we plan to close our business from 27th March till the 2nd of April every year. And you've ensured that not only the RMs go, but their family also goes. This is never heard of.
I don't know. See, point is, मैं आईआईटी का इम्तिहान दे रहा था.
अच्छा.
तो एक दिन पहले बिफोर द एग्ज़ाम मैं कोई रेडियो पे गाने आते थे उस ज़माने में, वो सुन रहा था एंड आई वाज रिलैक्स्ड. एंड माय फादर वाज देयर एंड ही आस्क्ड मी, सब हो गया? मैं बोला जितना होना था हो गया. और आप ही ने कहा है कि अगर मैं पूरा साल मेहनत नहीं करूँगा, आखिरी दिन पढ़ाई करूँगा तो कुछ होने वाला नहीं है. राइट? हाउ इज़ दैट नॉट एप्लीकेबल इन बिजनेसेस? You have 12 months to achieve your targets. If you're going to sleep for 10 months, what will you do in the last 2 months?
Nothing.
If you have worked for 12 months, ज़रूरी है कि रातों आखिरी के हफ्ते काम करना है. Right? So it's a culture. You work all through the year and post the achievement, go and enjoy yourself. So you worked all through the year. Now end of the year has come. Enjoy yourself, freshen yourself, and then embark on the new year. Now, obviously, if the purpose of our annual meet is some business, some degree of reward, some degree of relaxation, yeah, I think that if you are there with your family, you'll be able to achieve those objectives better. And as long as you keep giving me growth in business, I'll keep giving you those offsites.
No, completely. We are with you on that bit. But that's why rightly. I mean, I'm the sake of repeating, I'm repeating back again, saying that this is where it's never heard of, and you've drilled this to us in such a fashion: gratitude, humility, humbleness. And this I speak with you. Whenever I speak with you, you always put in across कि अगर आज तेरे पास है, तो तू दे. And this thought process, I think, has come back from where you were, Rakesh. And today, giving back to the society, I've never spoken to people to an extent that you go on. Whenever I speak with you, one thing that you've asked for, तेरे को कोई तकलीफ है तो पहले ये बता मुझे. You never asked me saying that तेरे नंबर क्या हुए, तेरा धंधा क्या हो रहा है. And you tell me to do that with my team members also is exactly the same thing. So one thing that you've always told me was it कि तू ये मत सोच कि उसको क्या मिल रहा है, तू मुझे ये बता कि तुझे क्या चाहिए and where I can help. How did this is very very unusual for a CEO to say something of that sort.
Think of it like this: that if my body is in pain, there's a pain in my leg. Yeah, will I be able to play cricket?
No.
I'll be declared as injured.
Correct.
Right? So to play a good game and a good match, I have to first tackle my injury. Then I'm fit to play the match. How is that any different for an RM or for any employee? You expect him to do his best in the market. He's suffering from whatever. So get him out of that so that he can go along and score wonderful runs in the marketplace. If I send an injured soldier, then will I win the match?
No.
So, therefore, attack the issue, bring health back, and then पूरी जिंदगी है काम करने के लिए. Where's the problem?
Right.
Right? So, I think everything that you look at logically. Right? And say, hey, what's the right way to approach it? अगर तुम्हारी तबीयत ठीक है, कोई दुख नहीं है, financial or otherwise, then you are motivated to be, you're a happy person, you'll be a happy RM, and you'll be a happy interaction, you'll have happy interactions with customers. Imagine, रोते हुए किसी कस्टमर को आगे मिलेगा, तेरे को पैसा देगा क्या?
बिल्कुल भी नहीं.
सर मर गया मैं, मेरे को आप दे दो. भीख नहीं मांगो भाई.
Correct.
हक से लो, खुशी खुशी. दे दोगे सर पैसा, आपका पैसा हम बहुत अच्छा मैनेज करेंगे. नहीं दोगे कोई बात नहीं, जब आपकी इच्छा हो तब देना. That comes with happiness and confidence of what you're doing.
Very true. The anxiety that happens with us.
Anxiety, why the anxiety? Because you put an expectation and you're not able to meet it. So don't worry about that. Do your job do your work to the best of your ability, and leave it to the rest, to the Lord.
Very well said. And also the CEO that nobody knows. I just wanted to highlight the point saying that even financially, whenever you need any help and support, you've always told me, call me. If it is in my ability to help, I will definitely help. Whether it is by way of talking or by financially, and you've always done that, Rakesh. And this is where we are very grateful to you because, this habit of giving has never been there in us. Maybe, I don't know whether I never had that, but you've inculcated that in so much so now that we think everything from that perspective, and you always laid that perspective very well, Rakesh.
Oh, see, look at it. We have got various stages of life. As I said, my father was an honest railway officer. वो पहली तारीख आती थी, फिर हमारी जो छोटी मोटी इच्छाएं थी पूरी होती थी. अगर मैं अपनी माँ से बोलूँ 27 तारीख को, 26 तारीख को, माँ मेरे को एक रैकेट लेना है टेनिस का, तो वो बोलती थी कि पहली तारीख आने दे फिर ले देंगे. सो वी ऑल गॉन थ्रू दैट मिडिल क्लास लाइफ. जब हमारे खुद के लिए इतना कम था तो हम दूसरों को देने की सोच ही नहीं सकते थे. बट लाइफ चेंजेस. द मैथ अराउंड योर वेल्थ चेंजेस. Now, once the math around your wealth has changed, should you continue the erstwhile behavior or change your behavior?
Change your behavior.
That's simple.
Logical.
Logical. तो जब नहीं था तो नहीं देता था, जब है तो देने में क्या प्रॉब्लम है? आज कल को आज है, कल नहीं होगा तो नहीं दूंगा, है तो ले लो. It's simple.
So nice, Rakesh.
So what is the big deal in this?
No, I think
So a person who has more than what he wants to consume, if he is giving, what other option does he have? He can either store the food in his godown, and then rats will eat it, right? Or he can utilize it to benefit somebody. The choice is that individual's, no? And you have both in the world.
Yeah.
You have people who give and create value, people who store, and then some bad sheep comes in the family and everything goes down the drain.
Phenomenal. And that so also goes on to saying that you've never missed anybody's birthdays, Rakesh. Everybody in the system, from wherever they are, as a CEO, you've called them. What keeps you going,
That spreadsheet or the information that comes to me on the, that okay, आज ये 3 लोग का बर्थडे है, वो नहीं आएगा तो मैं फोन कॉल किसको करूँगा? But
yeah.
I think it is important to acknowledge people and have your own mechanisms of interacting with them. So, if I have a call on a birthday, at least once a year, I'm able to talk to him, find out about his, दुख सुख, क्या उसके साथ चल रहा है, कोई बीमारी तो नहीं है, कोई डिफ़िकल्टी तो नहीं है प्रोफेशनली, पर्सनली, right? Then if all is well, if something is not right, then you address that and sort it out. At least I'm in the system. Once a year I'll know the problem cannot be more than 1 year old. Na?
Very logical again.
So I think it's about, I can do it. It's not a stress on me. I love talking to people and interacting with them. So there's no, कैसे करते हो? फोन उठाओ, उसमें नंबर घुमाओ, कैसे करते हैं? ऐसे करते हैं.
Very well said. But you know what? I can go on and on and on, Rakesh. Even this conversation of yours and I, cannot end in just an hour or two. There are a lot of aspects of yours that I wanted people to understand, to look into. One thing which comes really stark on this is that the humility, the humbleness, the gratitude, the thanks to the Lord above that you've always said. And one thing that you've always told me also, saying that lage raho or chhod do, is what keeps us going. When you fall back and look back upon what have you built today, how contented you are and what do you feel about that?
See, जर्नी है तो ये नहीं है कि आज मैं खुश हूँ. मैं 1 साल के बाद भी खुश था.
Correct.
2 साल के बाद भी खुश था. क्योंकि there was so much to thank him every year. Today also there is so much to thank him. So I think that you have to be grateful. He knows where things are going. Enjoy the ride and the process. Keep doing your best and enjoy the ride. And be grateful for every station that this train stops at. Yeah? तो अगर बम्बई से दिल्ली जा रही है गाड़ी तो एन्जॉय सूरत, रतलाम, कोटा और हर एक स्टेशन के मज़े लो.
बहुत बढ़िया.
आगरा में देखो, वहाँ पे पेठा मिलता है तो खाओ, मथुरा में पेड़े खाओ. सो दिस इज वेरी सिंपल जर्नी. एन्जॉय एवरी मोमेंट ऑफ इट and do your best and let it naturally fall, go in the direction that it's supposed to go.
Thank you so much, Rakesh. It's a privilege and honor, to be sitting next to you and discussing what we have. We can go on and on and on, and this podcast cannot stop here. I think there's enough and more. There's enough and more that we should know about you. But the logical mindset that you had, the thought process that it goes through in building a business, which you always said, it's just a journey that started. And this is truly Rakesh Rawal Uncomplicated, And I had a great time interacting with you. And it's just phenomenal to have you around. So thank you so much. And may the Lord be with us always, Thank you so much for all your time and effort. It's a privilege. That's my unconventional CEO, a CEO who has, broken all the shackles of the norms, a CEO who believes in logic, a CEO who believes in mathematics, a CEO who believes in gratitude. And he feels that if you have, please give it to the society. And that's how, on that premises, this Anand Rathi Wealth business has been made. So thank you so much once again, boss. All the best to all of us.
Thank you. Thank you, Manish. And the podcast can't be completed without mentioning that Feroz joined us in 2012. And after his joining us, the whole energy and as well as the content has been so deeply impacted by him.
Absolutely.
And I thank the Lord that वो फिरोज को हमारी सबकी जिंदगी में लेके आया.
May the Lord preserve us.
Yes.
Isn't
Thank
it?
you. Yes, absolutely. God bless you.
Thank you so much.